Hello all, in today's video we're going to take a deep dive into Type 18, Type 19 Augs in EverQuest. Is this system overly complicated, but one of the best things that players, once you do understand it, it's going to power up your guys substantially. So let's talk about it. I made a spreadsheet and I'll put a link in the description, so feel free to share it and everything like this. I separated things that I feel are relevant. So there's a lot of information and there's a lot of things you don't need to know. So let's just put it that way. They're going to be four different focus groups, meaning stacking issues of Augs. So this will get a little confusing. For the focus types Augs that are like casting, attacker, all those different things, you could have four of them in your equipment that do stack. So for example, if we look at the attacker Augs, you could get the TBL attacker, Blazing Euphoria. Then you could get Alkalite Attacker Senolinian from the Anniversary Mission. Then you could make the player-made Alkalite Attacker from LS, Laurion Song. And then you could make the Devotee Attacker from Laurion Song. All four of these will stack. So that's what I mean. There are four different lore groups. Some of these Augs do stack, some of them don't. I separated them already for the ones that do stack, or if they're best in slot. So going down the list here. In TBL, the best casting Augs is either going to be fire or magic. In this expansion, for whatever reason, they separated it that fire Aug will only proc from fire or chromatic, and the magic will only proc from casting magic or chromatic. Then they realize, oh, this is not a great idea. Then in TOV and NOS Augs, then they realize, okay, we'll just call it casting magic or something, and it'll work on everything. In Laurion Song, they call it casting ice, but basically it will work on everything, all spell types, and proc and ice thing. The enhancements, I know they're stat Augs, but for whatever reason, they're a little different and separated. These all work together, so no issues there. Then you have your stat Augs, right? From NOS, you get the group drops from name mobs or whatever, and then you can make the assault, fortification, stealth, or strategy. One is the strength, stamina one, I believe. Then there's the dex stamina. Then there's the agility one, and then there's the wisdom, intelligence, stamina one. Then raid trash in NOS will drop, and you could only make one of the the four stat ones there. Then you have LS with the regular drops that just like everything you can make all the different types. Real quickly, just to show you guys things that you don't need to know over here. There are a bunch of different recipes in all the current ones. The ones I listed are the important ones. The ones that you don't need to know about are like Defender, defending fire, defending magic, defending ice, Dorsal, which is getting hit from behind. Honestly, mitigation from getting hit behind, you really shouldn't be getting hit from behind. Protecting stuff is garbage. Soothing and Ventral are interesting, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but these do not stack. So you can only use one, and you want to pick the highest one. And then the warding is crap. You don't even want to bother with that. So in any expansion, these things that I did not click here, Defender, defending, protecting, warding, and this it's garbage. Like unless they do something changing drastically, you will never use those, make those, or anything like that. Okay, so going back. So just to review everything that we said, you could have four different focus dogs, which are one TBL Type 19, which just comes from trash, any TBL raid zone trash. Then you could have any TBL Type 18 or any NOS Type 18. So that's going to be these here. NOS ones are going to be better, so I didn't even bother typing those out than the TBL Type 18s. So you get those. Then you have the TOV type 19s or LS type 19s, right? I did not bother typing TOV ones out because the LS ones are better. Now, one quick note about the TOV and LS ones. Currently, the focus augs have the same proc or percentage. So the item guys has been notified and hopefully they will improve. But they are still stat upgrades. So I'm only listing the LS augs. So all the TOV augs basically get replaced by Laurion Song augs now. And as I mentioned before, there's no lore groups with the type 18s, 19s. Okay, all that being said and done, I did a cheat sheet. Now, this is all up to your opinion. Like, I'm not telling you how to play your character or what's best for you. Every person has a different play style, different resources, and different things are going to work for you, right? So, by no means is this going I'm saying this is 100% the way you should go. I am a DPS oriented player, so I like to kill things before they kill me. Okay, so looking at the cheat sheet, at this point of the game, I feel people should have either two or three chase pieces, being the earring, cloak, or neck. If you're still using like the TBL pieces, definitely rid of it at this point. They were great and lasted a while because stats were not as inflated. Now that stats are super inflated these days, it's less important to have those. So we'll go through all the classes real quick and just explain why. Bard, I prioritize, like if you see these in the rose colors, these are the ones that I feel are most important for everybody of those classes. So Bard, the attacker Augs. This is adds accuracy. Very few things in this game add accuracy, so for sure go for those. Then I say fortification Augs, Dex all the way. Dex is going to increase your DPS more than the assaulting Augs by large amounts. Beast Lord, hybrid. Again, attackers are most important. I'm going to lean towards fortification again. These I feel are important. If you feel you're not getting as much returns, then possibly use switch up some into some casting or combination of dex or and casting. That's up to you. Berserker, pure melee, attacker because that's what they do, and fortification, dex because they smash things. Clerics makes me a little sad. I think clerics benefit the least amount out of all the other classes because basically they just heal. So I'm suggesting the stat augs that add the most healing amount. If you look at the front page, I did my little link tree, and this is going to show like best augs and spots. So for example, like if you're looking at the best type 5 augs, it's going to show you best 7 type 7 augs. And as far as the 18, 19 to say for heal amounts, you click that and it's going to show you heal amounts. And there you go. So, clerics, yeah, kind of get the short end of the stick when it comes to these things. So, stats all the way. Notable mentions: Ventral, Devotee of the Legacy Souls, and Soothing, which is take less damage from getting hit in the front, and Soothing will improve the healings that are done to you, right? That don't land on you. And then if you still have more slots, maybe some AC Augs, fortification there, because fortification Augs have the highest AC on them. Druids, casting Augs, casting Augs. Very few things help casters in this game do more DPS. So all four casting Augs is a must have. Those will stack together. So one from TBL, casting fire is probably better. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But I think druids cast fire more than magic, and then the others don't mind. The devotees are going to increase your spell damage. Again, spell damage impacts dots now, so they're a little bit more relevant. So I listed the top spell damage augs there as well. Enchanter, very similar to Druid in the sense of their, caster DPS or whatnot. So the four casting augs, doesn't matter if you get casting fire or magic because it works off of chromatic, and enchanter stuff is chromatic. Then the other casting, and then spell damage stuff. Magician, same boat here. Fire, they cast more. Their magic is not great. And same logic there. Monk is going to fall in line to the same logic as Berserkers. So four attackers, four decks. Necromancers is going to be same thing as casters. Paladins is tank class. People will make fun, but I still like attackers for paladins just because it increases accuracy, hitting things more, generate mild amount more aggro, and do a little more damage. Ventral soothing is definitely a good thing because if when you're tanking, you take less damage. Like the ventral right now is like 1.1, which is 1% melee mitigation from front. That's equal to like 400 for stamina, so very good value. Soothing, I'm always on the fence about this one because there's so much overhealing in the game. Like it's questionable how good soothing really is. Does it hurt? It doesn't hurt. Can it help in like oh crap moments? Yes. So I'd put notable mention there. If you're noticing that you're not coming close to dying or needing it on it, then swap it out probably for some fortification stuff. Rangers, hybrids, so kind of similar to Beast Lords. Attacker first, obviously, no matter what. Dex is going to be a priority for me, and then probably some casting Augs. If you want to mix it up, that's up to you, depending on how many chase pieces you have. Rogues is pure melee, same exact thing for monks or berserkers, attackers all the way, and then fortifications. The assaulting's not gonna be good. I do not suggest those. But if you find use, go for it. Like again, I'm not telling people how to play their game. Shadow Knights. So same thing as the other tanks. I'm gonna suggest attackers up front, and then eventual soothing possibly. All right. Soothing will help Shadow Knights a little bit more, I believe, with their life tap. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that impacts that. And then fortification stuff. Shamans are gonna fall in line, same thing with like druids and other casters. So the four casting Augs. Now note the Blazing Euphoria, the TBL one has to be magic for the the curse lines and whatnot because shamans don't get magic. I mean fire, so that has to be magic. And then the other three don't matter. And then some stat stuff for healing and spell damage. Warrior is going to be similar to the other tanks, attackers all the way, more aggro, all that good stuff. Ventral soothing, same logic there, and then highest AC Augs would fill that out. And then wizard, same thing like the others, casting fire because they cast fire way more than magic, and then some spell damage stuff. So that's my suggestions, and this is my list so people could use a quick reference. I made a tiny URL for this, so that will be in the description. So hopefully this is useful to folks, and if any have any questions, just feel free to message me in Discord, in game, or comment, whatever you like. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks all. Have a good one. Bye bye.